I think I couldn't do without on the homestead?
What's that?
Well, it'd be inside the homestead.
What's that?
My cast iron skillets.
Yes.
Can you imagine having cornbread and anything else?
I couldn't do without them cast iron skillets.
Or biscuits or fried chicken or we even make apple pie in them, don't we? We make pizza in them.
Fry bread on top of the stove if you wanted to.
Mm-hmm. I don't think I'd want to be without my cast iron skillets. That's for sure.
Ain't nothing any better than fried in a cast iron skillet.
And besides a wood cooking stove, I wouldn't want to be without my gas cooking stove because I do not like electric.
No.
I've tried to cook on and burn everything up. I just don't like them.
Well, I don't like being dependent on it.
No.
If the electric goes out, we can cook with gas.
And we'd also have an outdoor kitchen too.
We got outdoor kitchen. We could put stuff on top of the wood heating stove if we needed to.
And we have Dutch ovens to cook in. So we're okay.
We're not what you call off the grid.
But we could be.
We could be for the most part. If things got bad, we're pretty prepared. We could do without the electricity, and the refrigeration would be the biggest problem. But
you remember we had that big ice storm back when we lived on the river?
Yeah.
I mean, it was bad now. It was made national news. It was so bad. But it stayed cold for so long that we just put everything from the refrigerator outside on the porch.
Yeah.
Because was it not like 20 or something?
No, it was staying cold, plenty cold enough for refrigeration. Actually, we put them in coolers and we'd open them up, let them cool down, and when it got really cold at night, instead of stuff like your milk wanting to freeze and stuff like that, we'd close the lid on the cooler. But we were running a generator at the time, just to keep, we had just filled the freezer full of beef, fresh beef, big beef, hog, and we ended up buying a generator.
We had to go all over the place because people had bought all the generators up. I mean, it was that bad.
We went south pretty good ways to get a generator, and they come in on the truck, and while we were there, they sold out. There was a line of people buying generators. It was a bad deal. We
lived on the 11-Point River in a cabin, and it was up 9 foot. Was it 8 or 9?
8 foot to the floor level.
Because we just lived like 100 yards from the riverbank, right?
Roughly. 250 feet.
So if the river ever got up, we want to make sure it didn't get in the house. Let me tell you something. When we bought that place, it flooded.
For 3 years.
It flooded and flooded and flooded. And it was the prettiest place when we bought it. But when we had that ice storm, when we was on that river, I had never experienced anything like that. It was like the whole world was cut off from us.
Yeah. It was a sound at night that there was trees breaking one after another. You would have thought there was a war going on. I've never heard nothing like it in my life. And they was whole trees, full-size trees going to the ground. And that was echoing up and down that river. Beautiful 11-Point River.
It sounded like a war.
It was bad.
It was, you'd walk out on the porch and you couldn't go nowhere. You couldn't leave.
Oh, no.
There was no stores open for a while. There's no electric in town for a while.
People kind of went crazy. They bought everything out in the store they get a hold of. They bought gas lines were a mile long. I've never seen nothing like it. People tend to panic, but you need to be prepared before.
Before, not after. That's for sure.
We've got enough canned goods, and not canned goods, but things that you have canned. We ain't gonna go hungry for a while.
No, and we may not have a freezer full of meat per se, but we do have enough for a while. But I don't worry about that because I know that you can come out here and kill a squirrel or a deer or whatever we need to have.
I could right now.
So I just don't worry about that.
Well, I mean, if the power went out, you wouldn't want a refrigerator or freezer full of beef, you know.
No. And that happens a lot in this area.
And you'll find out that when you run a generator, that electricity's pretty cheap. When you go to pouring gas in a generator 24 hours a day, you'll find out that electricity is a lot cheaper than you thought it was.
I remember Miss Vicky talking about that because if I'm not mistaken, it was when they were building their house out there. But she was talking about, you know, how much it costs to run them big generators they were having.
Even if it's a diesel generator.
Because they were out in the middle of nowhere, you know, trying to build this house.
You know, it costs, we could be without electricity. We could live that way, but when we downsized this house and made sure that it was insulated like it's supposed to be, and we get by year round, even cooling with an air conditioner, on what, not over $100 a month average, probably not that much, $80 to $100 a month,
Yeah.
year round. So, and we got 2 refrigerators, deep freeze, electric hot water heater.
Now, you know, growing up, we always had a gas hot water heater, but them things scare me. And we've had them before.
Yeah, I've had them.
But with just me and you here, we don't use a lot of.
If we need hot water in the wintertime, it ain't gonna take long to put it on that wood stove in there, and you're gonna have hot water.
I'm gonna have me a wood cook stove one of these years, probably when I retire. Hopefully in about 6 or 7 years. It wouldn't be feasible for us to have one right now because we're gone. How many hours a day are we gone?
We're gone. We leave here at
5:30.
5:30, and we get back here around
5:30.
5:30.
So it's just not feasible. But when we do retire, we're going to do it because he grew up wood cook stove, and we just want to get back to it.
Yeah, it'd be nice.
And I could cook in here on our wood heating stove. I have.
It will be nice. It will be a double. It's no more than it takes to heat this house. The wood cook stove will be a dual purpose. It'll serve our heat and our cooking. And I can't wait till you cook my breakfast on it every morning.
And make a pot of coffee on it instead of them K-cups.
Pot of coffee boiling on a wood cook stove and some good bacon and eggs. Biscuits out of the oven. I'll be 3 times as big as I am right now when we retire.
We're going to stay busy. You know, people retire and they go back part-time. They say, I ain't got enough to do. I'm so bored, and I'm thinking,
No.
how? Because I cannot get caught up right now.
I'm going to go fishing.
We done discussed that.
And I'm going to go hunting. And I'm going to probably grow a bigger garden.
I thought you was going to say you was going to grow a bigger beard.
I'm working on the beard. I started this beard in, I think it was June, the middle of June. I always have a beard, but I kept it shaved short. And I decided I usually a lot of times in winter let it grow, and I thought I'd get an early start. So this is the longest my beard's ever been. And it's real nice whenever I'm mechanicing and I get grease and oil in it.
It's good to catch all your dribbles.
Oh yeah,
especially ice cream.
Yeah, it catches all my ice cream.
You look like a little kid when you eat ice cream. It's all over your beard.
All over my beard. It drips on me.
Hey y'all, I tell y'all, most of the kids and some of the grandkids went to Branson.
Yes.
To Silver Dollar City this weekend to see the beautiful lights there at Silver Dollar City. And I'm kind of jealous, but we couldn't go. And I hope they're having a good time. But I don't know if anybody's close enough to go to Branson to Silver Dollar City at Christmas time, but people go. We know so many people that go and go because they say it's so pretty. So I hope they take a bunch of pictures.
They're going to stay all weekend, come back Monday morning, then we have a get-together Monday night, Christmas Eve.
Christmas Eve night, we go to my daughter-in-law's, my son's house, my oldest son, Brandon. And my daughter-in-law cooks prime rib.
Prime rib.
Prime rib. That's the only time in our life that we get prime rib.
Oh, it ain't the only way. Umbrella.
Yes, it is. And she does a very good job cooking it. It's delicious. And then Christmas morning, we cook breakfast here. And most of them come here for breakfast and open a few presents. And some of them will have to go to other,
Other family.
family. And then some of them will stay here. And later that afternoon, we're going to eat again.
That's all we do. Eat for 3 days.
But I'm going to tell y'all,
We're going to have deer meat and chocolate gravy.
and other things.
Deer meat and chocolate gravy.
That's all he cares about.
Fried deer meat and chocolate gravy.
Right. But I'm going to go back to my Texas roots a little bit too, because tomorrow me and Mr. Brown are going to start making homemade tamales for Christmas night.
Whoa.
So Christmas night, we're going to be eating homemade tamales and brisket fajitas.
Yes.
Brisket fajitas.
And I feel a lot better than I
And
did this
tahini.
time last night.
I'm glad you do.
Woo.
Mr. Brown, it's not funny.
What are you laughing for? I'm telling you, it ain't funny.
No. He had a procedure yesterday, and some of y'all know because
A biopsy.
I asked for prayers because I believe very much in prayers. He had a biopsy on his prostate, and he said it's no fun.
No.
Now, we won't know anything.
12 samples.
12 samples.
And I felt every one of them.
But we won't know anything till the first of the year. Y'all know how that goes. But
It was bothering me pretty bad by this time yesterday. But
yeah, he was hurting pretty good.
I had some pretty stout pain pills too. But
He's feeling okay today, though.
yeah, about 9 o'clock last night, things started easing off, and I feel good today.
But he had to lay. He couldn't eat anything for 2 days.
Oh my goodness. Thursday morning, they said I could have breakfast.
Yeah, but you only got one egg and a piece of dry
this
toast.
was Thursday morning.
Okay, Thursday morning you did get breakfast.
Then
right?
it was liquid diet till Friday morning, and I could have one egg and one piece of toast,
and Jell-O and stuff like that.
and I could have Jell-O and things like that. And let me tell you,
He was whining.
I was whining because this big boy likes to eat, and
It was so sad though, because when we finally got out of there, and he was really hurting, but he was about sick from not eating too. He was getting weak.
yeah.
Oh, the traffic was horrible in Batesville,
Yeah.
and it was getting on my nerves and his nerves, and he didn't feel like getting out and eating at a decent restaurant, so we pulled in at Sonic, and that was
Good old Sonic.
That was his first meal after starving.
Double cheeseburger. Yeah.
It was good though. She was hungry.
Oh, I was hungry. Ain't no doubt about that. I think I ate the whole time I was home before I went to bed last night.
So we were discussing earlier some things that we couldn't do without on the homestead, and one of them you mentioned was
I wouldn't want to do without a garden hose.
couldn't do without a garden hoe.
I wouldn't want to do without my chainsaw. I could, but I wouldn't want to.
Well, I mean, we were saying without a garden hoe, you can just imagine trying to put in a garden and work that garden without a garden hoe. So
And a shovel.
and a shovel. You wouldn't want to be without a garden hoe now.
And a shovel. We break the garden with a shovel usually in our raised beds.
And a chainsaw. You didn't want to be without that.
And an axe. I wouldn't want to be without a good double-bitted broadaxe.
I mean, there's so much you can do without. There's some things you've got to have on a homestead.
I mean, yeah, you could do without a lot of things, but there's no need. That's just like we could do without electricity, but for $1,200 a year, I just soon have electricity if I can. I mean, it's not like I say, not like we couldn't do. I know we could.
Well, we got lanterns everywhere.
Used
We're
to.
ready.
And
We
used
got
to, when I was a
lamps.
kid, I didn't have no air conditioning.
We have oil lamps.
Oil lamps, candles,
We're ready.
but hopefully it don't ever get that bad.
You know, I was really hoping we got a big snow, but we ain't gonna get it.
No snow for Christmas.
I'm kind of sad. Everybody thinks I'm crazy, but I like, we need a big snow. It helps the ground.
Wouldn't hurt nothing. The deer are pretty hungry. They, no acorn crops, so.
They've been coming right up here. Danny feeds them right up here in front of the house, and we had some fighting last night.
Yeah.
2 does.
2 big full-grown does, and they stand on their hind feet and paw one another. And I kid you not, it sounded like somebody was hitting watermelon with boat paddles. It was flat, making a deep hollow thumping sound, and they done it. I walked out here on the porch with a light and watched them. And they fought for a good 10 minutes, maybe 15 minutes, plumb off down in the holler into the woods. I walked out way on down there toward them and watched them. And their hooves are clacking and beating. I've seen them fight before, but I've never seen...
And this wasn't 2 bucks, this was 2 does.
This was 2 does that were serious about it. One of them was going to be a winner. And I don't know the reason exactly why. Territory. May have been a new dog come in around here or something, wanting to come up here to some corn and some feed. But
Now it looks so odd though when you look shine a light out there and they're up on their hind feet and they're just a fighting. And it sounds rough too.
yeah. They would cut you, a human being, they would cut you up. It wouldn't be, I wouldn't want to tangle with one of them hooves, any of them hooves at all. We want to wish everybody a Merry Christmas.
A safe Christmas if you're traveling. And hope everybody has a safe, good Christmas. Get to see your family, have a good time. I mean, it's all about getting together and eating.
Yeah, that's what we need to do is eat.
Eating and taking a nap.
Eating and napping.
That's about it. That's all it should be. We just wanna
Sit down and relax every once in a while. If you don't, the world goes by too fast.
We want to wish y'all Merry Christmas so we're forward.
And a Happy New Year.
And a Happy New
We love all y'all.
Year. Yes. And I'm hoping tomorrow I can get in Mr. Brown helping me make homemade tamales.
I can do it. I can spread that corn, what's it called? Corn
Masa.
masa. There you go. I'll get my words straight. Don't no obese or nothing like that.
Anyways, y'all have a good Christmas, and to all you guys, all my subscribers, YouTube friends, everybody, we love y'all. God bless. Have a good Christmas.
See y'all later.
We still ain't got no clicker yet. Come on, Santa Claus.